Everybody, so today fellas, I am going to be talking about when you go ahead and stop doing this, women will go ahead and want you. So that means that there is things that's blocking you from getting more women, or possibly you haven't tried that could help you, which is the other topic. But all in all, there's things that is in every man to kind of put a stop to, or that break or adjustment that women actually like. The unfortunate part though, for a lot of you fellas that haven't caught on, maybe you have, but oftentimes it's like you don't know these things are what you think you should do as a man for that woman to please her or make her be more open or more vulnerable, or just, at least try. But it's not, it's actually pushing her away. So when you do a lot of times this opposite things that I'm going to mention in here, it's gonna go ahead and help you go ahead and have her wanting you more. Okay, so please go ahead and give this video a huge thumbs up. And I have a Patreon, whole lot of videos that you guys will never ever see on here, only on Patreon, links down below. Okay, and 2 other channels. So the first, and it's not really a first thing, it's really discussion, so don't take it as a first thing. We're just gonna start like this. So the first things first, you gotta understand that woman will go ahead and take you as being the guy that's kind, but when you do certain things that she doesn't like, as in like maybe being a simp, she wants you to get that, showing that she has no interest, which is a no. Take it as in the answer is a no. So she wants you to take the first no as in it's a no. So in all reality, fellas, you have a woman showing you maybe that she likes you, or you have a fella, maybe it's you, giving way too much interest, going up to that woman and honestly realizing that there's other guys looking up to her or looking towards her or wanting her attention, and saying that you are not competing with these guys when you probably don't have anything close to offer. So the reality of it is that you have to look at the situation surrounding what's going on with the woman and you. It could be that she has other attention, but it also could be that it's wrong timing. It could be, another way I could tell you guys is that she had no other guys wanting her, right? Maybe you met her at the bus stop. Maybe you met her at, I don't know, an after event where she was like the last 3 people left or something like that, right? A small after event. When you meet her in those cases, it's going to apply differently to make her want you, because you now have to understand that she is not interested in you, and that she will give you that I'm not really feeling you, and you have to take it the first time and wait until she shows you another sign. And so this breaks it down to how the first no is really a mind game. Fellas, don't get that women absolutely will try over and again with different strategies of trying to figure out what they could get and how they could use you, or possibly where they can get with you, right? And that's me talking more of like if it's like possible that she's actually interested. Anyways, if we talk about how you have a woman that's basically wanting you for the reasons of you basically saying no the first time, off of her showing you that she's not interested, you'll then show this woman that you're not a simp for her. When you're not a simp for a woman, it's really saying that she can't control no situation. So if she tells you no, you're gonna be like, no, I don't want it. If she tells you yes, you're gonna be like, well, I still don't want it. So your judgment is always going to be because of what you want. And that's what women want. They chase a man that they can't get it so easily out of because they need the challenge. So if we backtrack, right, and you have her taking those, more so sending those shots of like, I'm not interested, right? And then, still keeping you around, still taking your energy type of thing. You have to then go ahead and know that this woman is wasting your time. And what women know is that they could have any guy. Now, think about it the woman's way. I just said that they know that they can have any other guy. So if we think about the woman's way, she can have any other guy. Okay, that's egotistic. She wants any guy, most likely, as in like the guys that have the money and can do whatever, right? So there's no value there. The challenge becomes a problem now. The challenge becomes a problem now when you go ahead and realize that this woman's just playing games, and if you went and took that no, it would have worked out. Okay? Backtrack to that woman. If she would have said that, I want you off the bat after you approaching her or being around her, she wouldn't have gotten anything but just saying yes to I want you, right? And then you would have just took it as in, well, she's interested. She wanted something, but she's taking you as a simp, as a guy that's never going to take no for an answer. So if we could go ahead and wrap up to say, women will go and want you just because. Fellas, hear me out. Just because you said, I'm not interested. Just because you realize that the hints that she gave you, the hard to get that she's been showing you is really a game. But even if it wasn't, it's still gonna backfire if you don't become a simp. It's as simple as don't crush down to her needs, her wants, her expectations, fellas. It's not your duty until she puts you at that pedestal to become that guy for her. Now, I'm not saying never ever show any sort of effort or interest, right? It's not about you not getting the hint. It's not always going to be that you can't get the hint. It's about how you react and saying that, okay, well, she's still interested. Or, you know what? This is not the sign when it's completely showing you that it's the sign of she doesn't want you. So taking the hint is really going to also be a test for women, which I didn't touch on, but I mentioned. It's going to be a test as in, I'll try to tell him, oh, just to see what he'll react as in. So yes, there's other times where you could just say no and it's like, oh, well, why are you going to say no? But it's also like, oh, a whole test of, oh, yep, he's not like these other guys, or he's not a simp. So the other guy aspect could be like, oh, if you're a player and you're just trying to just mess around with her, of course, or something like that, or you're not trying to take her serious, or you're half-assing it, and she wants to keep testing you, right? And then finally she's realizing that you're not like that. But this other aspect could just be like, okay, he's not going to be a simp, he's not a fool, he's not going to fall for the tricks easily of, hey, well, I'm testing you. Will you do this? Will you go ahead and take these steps or all these things just because I said so? And then boom, you don't do so. And then it goes ahead and shows her all that she needs to know. You get me? Okay, fellas. So as we continue, now let's get the point of, you're dealing with a woman. If she's going to give you the hint of, I'm not really that interested. I don't know where it's going to go. It's kind of like the sideways. And it could also be testing. You can go ahead and make her want you more by just giving space. This is something that I don't strongly talk about. How you can just give space and how it can make like such a like, I gotta be honest, a toxic environment, but also an environment where she can now process or think properly. And I say toxic as in, she might not be doing it because, oh, well, I'm trying to save this relationship and all these things. It's really down to she's forced to. But at least she's in that position, because sometimes with women, you got to get them to realize that. Not because you're intentionally trying to force it or anything like that, right? So back to just giving that space with her. She has to, in between that time that you spend the time apart, she has to realize that you're not that interested. You're not chasing after her. You're not desperately needing her. And that is enough for her to go ahead and be like, you know what? I'm not going to go ahead and try to pursue. I'm not going to try to force anything until he gives me a little bit more. But then what happens is that a lot of times women will waste time waiting for you to do more, realizing that you showed your signs, you showed what you had to in the beginning. So then, boom, it breaks down to how women now need to reach out to you. Now that space is causing so much non-fulfillment. Can I say fulfillment? Non-fulfillment, as in like she can't get no answers from your end. A woman can have multiple men, but if you become that main focus based on just giving space and elevating also and other little things that could matter, but mainly just giving space after showing that you had interest, but now giving the 360, it sparks attention. And that's the end goal. That's why I always tell you fellas that never focus on what you don't have to offer, because you have so much to offer that it shows, and women notice it, or they want it, or they'll chase after it once you don't make it available. Once you make them realize that they can't get no more of it. But fellas, honestly, I hate to break it down like this. A lot of fellas out here don't get that they have not gotten to that point of making a woman see that. Now, it's not always your duty, but and I say not always your duty, as in depending on if you want more attention from women, then it will become your duty. If you want more attention, sometimes it's going to take more, but also it will depend on the beginning stage. So once again, it's all falling back to you fellas and how you're moving about it. You gotta go based on what's making sense. And don't just think that she's telling you she needs this, she wants this repeatedly over and over, that is the solution. It's not. And oftentimes, like I said already, it's just going to set you up to either show more feelings that you didn't have to or shouldn't have at all, or just generally just showing how much you are a simp. Okay, fellas, so I really hope this video was helpful. And if you guys want a part 2, you guys already know, let your girl know. And I did say this already, but I do have a Patreon. Please go ahead and pledge if you want to. And fellas, if you haven't already checked out my other channels, please do so. Links down below once again. And you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.